Welcome back to Three Inquisitive Kids. In this lesson, we're going to start in this video, we're going to start a lesson on important formulas. So basically in here, we're just going to talk about calculating different types of expressions and simplifying them. And in this video, we're going to be covering 6 most important formulas you're going to need when it comes to more advanced calculations. So let's first look at the first one. 1 squared plus 2 squared all the way to n squared. How would you calculate that? N can be any number, n as a variable. Well, really what you do is that just equal to 1/6 times n plus 1 times 2n plus 1. Alright, now that we covered that, you can always take notes. And then after you keep looking at the notes, you will be able to remember this. I know right now it seems like a lot, but you can do it. And actually, did you know that if you first listen to something and then you write it down, when you're writing it down, you're starting to remember it better. Alright, so now let's look at the second formula. 1 cubed plus 2 cubed plus 3 cubed all the way up to n cubed. That's equal to 1/4 times n squared times the square of the sum of n and 1. Alright, so both of these formulas that we already covered have to do something with cubes or squares that are being added together. Alright, and you can see that the base numbers are 1, 2, 3, and so they're consecutive integers. Now let's look at number 3. 1 plus 3 plus 5, and these are all the odd numbers, consecutive odd numbers. For example, if you skip all the way from 97 to 101, yes, they're odd numbers, but they're not consecutive. Consecutive means next to. So number 3 is the sum of consecutive odd numbers all the way until 2n plus 1. So that would be n squared. Now number 4. 1 plus 2 all the way adding up to n and then coming back down to 2 and 1. This is kind of like a pyramid, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way till n, and then it comes back down again. 3 plus 2 plus 1. This, amazingly, also equals n squared. So it's always that middle number, that biggest number, that vertex of the pyramid squared. Alright, so that is our pyramid formula. Now let's look at the last two. So these last two, you're supposed to learn it in algebra, but as I already told you in our welcome video, that in this course we're going to be covering some topics that we believe is doable at this level, although in most curriculums at school maybe you won't learn it, but I think that it is possible for us, for people that's especially at the 6th grade level, to learn these formulas. So let's look at number 5. A squared minus b squared is equal to 8, the product of a plus b and a minus b. So what this is saying is this is a squared. A is a number, b is a number. So this is a different square formula, and I can prove it right here. So we have a square, and this square has a side length of a, right? So its entire area would be a squared. And then so you're taking out a section of it right here, and it has a side length of b. So this area is b squared. Now we have 2 squares. All right. Now, say you're cutting out b from a. What is the area you have left? Well, we can split the remaining part, this L shape right here, into 2 parts. Let's cut it right here. So this would be a times a minus b, and this part would be b times a. This would be b times a minus b. So after you simplify that, you get a squared minus b squared is equal to the product of a plus b and a minus b. So this is very important, all right? And especially when you get to those higher levels, grade levels, you are going to need this. So it's a really good start to know it now versus to knowing it later and possibly not grasping it as well. Now let's look at the last one. And there's actually another version of this that I'm also going to talk about, just not written yet. So it's the square of the sum of a and b is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. To prove this, you could just turn this into a times a plus b times a plus b and use the distributive property to distribute it, and then you will get a squared plus 2ab is equal to b squared. Alright, so if between a and b there is a plus sign, then this would be plus 2ab. But notice, if instead you have a minus b squared, you will get a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Alright, so always pay attention to details. Thank you for watching to Inquisitive Kids, and see you in problem 1.